Hey everybody, welcome back to Vet Mentor AI. It's so good to see you all again. You know, one of the things that makes this channel so special is the incredible community we've built together. A community dedicated to supporting our veterans and making sure they have access to the resources they need and deserve. And a huge part of that is navigating the, sometimes let's face it, complicated world of VA benefits. We hear from so many of you who are struggling to get the benefits you've earned. You're not alone. Many veterans get denied benefits due to missing documentation, incorrect filings, you name it. It can be incredibly frustrating, believe me, I get it. So, on today's show, we're diving deep into 5 powerful ways to fight back against those denials and increase your chances of getting the benefits you deserve. We're talking shockingly simple stuff that actually works. So, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Alright, so first up we're talking about something called a higher level review. Now before you click away thinking this sounds like some bureaucratic nightmare, trust me on this one, it's actually way simpler than it sounds. Imagine this. You get that dreaded denial letter, right? Don't panic, we've all been there. Instead of tossing it in a drawer and giving up hope, which, trust me, is tempting, we're going to grab our detective hats and figure out what went wrong. See, a higher level review is basically like hitting the pause button on the whole process and saying, hey, hold on a second, I think there might be a misunderstanding here. It's your chance to have a one-on-one informal chat with a VA reviewer who wasn't involved in the original decision. And the best part? You don't need a lawyer or any fancy legal jargon, just your charm and a clear explanation of why you think the initial decision was off base. Think of it like explaining something to a friend who just needs a little more context. Now, here's the key to success with a higher level review. Be organized and be specific. Have all your ducks in a row, your paperwork neatly organized, your thoughts clearly laid out. And when you're talking to the reviewer, point out exactly where you think the mistake was made. For example, maybe they missed a crucial piece of your medical history, or they misinterpreted a document. Whatever it is, calmly and clearly explain why their initial assessment needs a second look. And remember, Virginia regulations are your best friend here. If you can point to a specific regulation that supports your case, you're golden. Okay, so maybe you've already gone through the higher level review process and it didn't quite go your way. Or maybe you're dealing with a denial that's based on a lack of evidence connecting your condition to your service. Well, don't worry, my friend, because we've got another ace up our sleeve, the supplemental claim. Think of this like bringing in the big guns, the reinforcements, the cavalry. Whatever analogy works for you. We're talking about gathering new and compelling evidence that strengthens your case and makes it impossible for the VA to ignore. Now, what kind of evidence are we talking about? Well, one of the most powerful weapons in your arsenal is a nexus letter. This is like a secret decoder ring, a magic key that unlocks the connection between your current condition and your time in service. Basically, you'll need to find a medical professional, like a doctor or a therapist, who can review your medical history, understand your service-related experiences, and write a letter that clearly states that your condition is, in their professional opinion, linked to your time in the military. But wait, there's more. You can also bolster your supplemental claim with additional medical records, buddy statements from fellow veterans who can vouch for your experiences, and even personal statements from you and your loved ones, detailing how this condition has impacted your life. The key here is to be thorough. Don't hold back. Gather as much relevant evidence as you can and present it in a clear, organized way. Remember, you're building a case, brick by brick, and every piece of evidence brings you one step closer to victory. Okay, we're moving into the big leagues now, folks. This is where things get serious, but trust me, you've got this. If you've exhausted all other options, or if you feel like your case needs a fresh set of eyes, it's time to consider appealing to the Board of Veterans' Appeals, also known as the BVA. Now, I know what you're thinking. The Board of what? This sounds way too official, but hold on. Don't let the name intimidate you. The BVA is actually made up of veterans law judges who are specifically tasked with reviewing appeals and making sure veterans are getting a fair shake. Think of it like this. You're finally getting your day in court. A chance to present your case to a neutral party who will listen carefully and make a decision based solely on the evidence. No biases, no preconceived notions, just a fair hearing. Now here's the deal. The BVA gives you a few different options for appealing your case. You can choose a direct review where the judge reviews your existing file without a hearing. You can opt for evidence submission, where you submit new evidence to support your claim. Or you can go for the full-blown hearing, where you get to present your case in person, with witnesses if you choose. No matter which route you take, preparation is key. Make sure your paperwork is in order, your arguments are clear and concise, and you have a solid understanding of the VA's rating criteria. And hey, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to seek help from a VA-accredited representative. They're like your trusty sidekick, your guide through the BVA maze. Alright, picture this. You've received your denial letter and you're feeling like you just got hit by a ton of bricks. But before you start building a pillow fort of despair, take a deep breath and channel your inner Sherlock Holmes. We're going on a mission to uncover any potential VA mistakes that could turn that frown upside down. You see, even the best of us make mistakes, and yes, that includes the good folks at the VA. Sometimes denials happen because of simple errors, oversights, or misinterpretations of information. And that's where you come in, my friend, as the eagle-eyed detective, ready to spot those discrepancies and demand a do-over. So grab your magnifying glass, put on your best investigative hat, and let's get to work. Start by comparing your denial letter with the VA's rating criteria for your specific condition. These criteria are like the rule book, the playbook, the official guidelines that the VA is supposed to follow when evaluating claims. Carefully scrutinize every detail, every word, every sentence. Look for any inconsistencies between what the denial letter says and what the rating criteria actually require. Did they overlook a crucial symptom? Did they misinterpret a medical report? Did they base their decision on outdated information? If you find even the tiniest discrepancy, my friend, you've struck gold. That's your cue to request a reconsideration. This is basically like hitting the reset button and saying, "Hey, Virginia, I think there's been a slight misunderstanding. Let's try this again, shall we?" Okay, let's be real for a second. Navigating the VA appeals process can feel like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded while riding a unicycle. It's complicated, it's confusing, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But fear not, my friend, because you don't have to go it alone. That's where the superheroes of the VA world come in, VA-accredited representatives. These are like the Jedi masters of VA benefits, the wise and experienced guides who can help you navigate the treacherous terrain of appeals and emerge victorious on the other side. They know the ins and outs of the system, they speak the language, and they're dedicated to fighting for your rights. Now you might be thinking, but Paul, where do I even find one of these mythical creatures? Well, fear not, my friend, because they're easier to find than you might think. You can start by checking out resources like Vet Mentor AI. Vet Mentor AI can connect you with experienced representatives who can provide expert guidance and support throughout the entire appeals process. They'll help you gather the necessary documentation, craft compelling arguments, and ensure your appeal is filed correctly and on time. But it's not just about the paperwork. A good VA-accredited representative will be your advocate, your cheerleader, your shoulder to cry on when things get tough. They'll be there to answer your questions, address your concerns, and provide the emotional support you need to stay strong and motivated throughout the process. Listen, I know it can feel overwhelming, but here's the bottom line. A VA denial is not the end of the road. It's just a detour on the journey to getting the benefits you deserve. And remember, you don't have to go through this alone. Use these 5 methods, be persistent, and don't be afraid to reach out for help. We're all in this together, and together, we can make sure every veteran gets the support they've earned. And hey, while you're at it, head over to Vet Mentor AI for more incredible resources, tips, and support. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow veterans. Let's spread the word and empower each other to fight for what's right. Keep fighting the good fight, my friends, and we'll see you in the next video.